Today we are test driving the Lexus 0 to 60, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, the rear view vision on this car is quite a small window. The headrests do obstruct the vision. The wing mirrors, we like the wing mirrors, they're huge, you've got plenty of vision there. I have no problem at all seeing where I've been. They're very, very, very good size. This car has got the annoying separate fob, and once you get in the car, I really just don't know what the hell to do with the thing. Do I leave it in the middle here and lose it there and then get out the car and walk off without it? Bad idea that. You get that in a lot of cars and I just don't think it works. Now, the instrument cluster on this car is really quite beautiful. It's very well illuminated and I have no problems reading that while I'm driving at all. The center console probably doesn't match the rest of the car actually, because it doesn't look very contemporary. Could be out of a 1980s Nissan as far as I'm concerned. You have a nice huge screen here which is in a good location. The car generally inside is actually very stylish and it's nicely put together, and it does have a high-end luxury car feel to it. Now, one thing I have noticed with this car which is very alarming is if you give it a bit of a wiggle test, it shakes and boats all over the place like you wouldn't believe. It's terrible actually. I find it amazing that a car that is so well put together will shake around like this. It's like a yacht with no keel. Coming down the motorway at 70 miles an hour, doing a swerve in this car is going to be forced out of control. And it desperately, desperately, desperately needs a firmer ride. It is too soft, it is too vague, and there is no justification for any car to boat around and rock and roll around like that. I mean, it's appalling, to be quite fair. That really diminishes this car's potential as far as I'm concerned. Apart from that rolling around, the steering itself is actually quite responsive. There's not really any lag there, which I like to see. It's a beautiful smooth ride. It is silky, silky smooth. This car flows along like a nice big Audi. It's beautifully serene. It's like being in a vault. Now let's see what it's like on the corners. As I always say, I don't think there's any better way to test the corners than on a roundabout. So doing roughly 25 miles an hour now. You know, for a high heavy car it's not that bad, but the steering does go very tight on the corners, and I really notice it. And the front end dips down, the nose does dip down. It does affect the steering, so if that's the case, on accelerating at this corner I should experience torque steer. And there was torque steer and understeer too. So front wheel drive, I don't think this is the right car for a front wheel drive. It just doesn't seem to complement the car at all. Now I'm going to do a brake test now. I'm not going to do an emergency stop, I'm just going to do a very firm brake to see what the brakes are like. Do the best part of 50 miles an hour. Now 3, 2, 1. Well, I have to say the brakes are definitely very, very good. Very, very balanced, very synchronized, very smooth, and the ability to apply a gradual pressure is there. Excellent braking system, there's no doubt about it. This car is superb, it really is, but I find it increasingly frustrating about the rocking motion of this car. That's the only fault I can find with this car.